Part 2, answered the phone, and now we're on part 2 of the book. Here's Katie in a canyon where huge boulders leaned way over the tracks in towering, top-heavy, gigantic stacks. What's holding them up, frightened Katie would wonder, as the earth-shaking train went rumbling right under. She was a little scared of those boulders and canyons. Wow. Let's see. Oh, look at that one. High up in the mountains were terrible ledges where the track ran along only feet from the edges. The view was breathtaking, but after one look, it was so upsetting that she shivered and shook. Oh no, she was afraid she'd fall down below. Then poor Katie received even more of a fright from a smoke-blackened tunnel as dark as the night. And as she crept through the tunnel with the horrible thought that far back in the darkness she'd suddenly be caught by caboose-eating monsters who lurked all about. They would gobble her up before she got out. She was scared. Nothing happened. Oh no, look at this dirty, dirty city. Oh, her trips always ended near a city somewhere way out in a freight yard with smoke clouding the air, where turmoil of trains made great noisy rumble on crisscrossing tracks, an impossible jumble. Look at that, there she is. She's very sad, and it's so smoky near the factories and all the trains making all that soot in the air. Here she is. The train came to a stop and the cars were unhitched. Then off to a side track, the caboose was soon switched, where Katie could sit and take in the fine scenery with such lovely sights as a load of machinery. Oh my goodness, all those different things on the other trains. That's all she could see. She really liked the country instead. And here's all the guys working in the, oh, they took the engine apart and they're working to clean it. I'm not going to read all of this page, but look, they took the front off and they were scrubbing the inside and the wheels. They were redoing this, replacing old pistons and bolts that were missing. Here we are. Okay, there she is. There's Katie right there, and she's looking at this little tower there. As Katie sat there through one long dreary night, staring up through the smoke at a red signal light, a small house appeared in the sky like a ghost, a shack of the switchman perched high on a post. "I'd like to be you," said the shack very sadly. "If I could trade places, I would very gladly. A caboose is what I've always wanted to be, for you have the best life for what I could see." So Katie wasn't happy, but this guy was even unhappier, more unhappy. He could just stay there. He wanted to be an adventurer like Katie. Before Katie could think of some way to reply, all at once a long freight train came thundering by. The next thing she knew, she was jerked and then jolted, then hitched to the train with her coupler bolted. As the train left the freight yard, poor Katie looked back to catch a last glimpse of the sad little shack. Oh my goodness. She realized that she really did have a lot of adventures. "From now on," Katie promised, "I shall never complain. I'll be a happy caboose at the end of the train and put up with the jolts and the train noise and the rest and the smoke that rolls by, or at least I'll try my best." With her new point of view, she enjoyed the long ride. It was a fun on a trip through the broad countryside. So maybe you passed some farms on your way back from Boston. Oh, but here she goes again on this scary thing. But when the train crept up a steep mountain grade, Then poor Katy found she was still afraid, and once more she began to shiver and shake at the thought of the frightening curve she must take. Her unsteady wheels could cause her to slip, which would suddenly put a quick end to the trip. Oh, she was scared. Let's see what happens. Oh, it was a hot afternoon, and the going was rough. Oh, can you see Katy way down there? She's so little. And here's the engine. And the engine up front was in a huffing big puff. He groaned, "What a day to chug up such a grade on a bare mountainside with not one bit of shade." When he came steaming over the very last hump, he lunged with a fury that made the cars jump. Oh, look at that. Beep, bop, boop, boop, beep, bop. All the way back to Katy, who got such a jolt that it snapped off a rusty old coupling bolt. Uh-oh, I think she's getting loose. That's the name of the boat, the caboose who got loose. Look at her now. Oh my goodness. She was free of the train. At last she was loose. And way down the track went Katy Caboose. On down the grade she flew faster and faster, straight for the curve and certain disaster. And we'll talk about why you think she can't make this turn, because there's nobody steering the caboose, right? She can only go straight, and then she'll go off the side. Let's see what happens. Oh my goodness. When Katy hit the curve, she took off like a kite, high over the treetops on her first and last flight. That would quickly have ended poor Katy Caboose if it hadn't been for two towering spruce. You see, these trees are called spruce trees, and she's going to get caught in the trees. Let's see, we're already at 7 minutes, so maybe we'll finish reading, but I'll just show you that she ended up in the tree. And we'll finish the story when I see you. And I'll see you on Thursday and Friday. Have a great couple of days. Bye.